What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JD, and we got another video on the target block. Today, we're going to be focusing on target block displays. But first, we're going to go over the target block basics. Alright, so the target block emits 10 ticks or 4 ticks of signal strength data, depending on what it was hit by, whether that's a bow, crossbow, or trident. That's going to be 10 ticks. And then if it's a snowball, egg, ender pearl, and a few other projectiles, that's going to be 4 ticks. So we can just demonstrate here. You can get the signal off of the block from the comparator or from just using dust. You can also load it directly into a memory cell. Let's just demonstrate here. As you can see, the closer we hit to the bullseye, the higher our signal strength is. Same thing over here with just the dust. We got the memory cell. See if we can get a 15 in there. We'll just leave that in there. You can also have the dust like this, a block and then a comparator and your output. You get the output that way. You cannot, however, just have a block up against the target block. And you can also not have the observer detecting it. Now you could get a signal a couple different ways. Like one way you could do it is like this. It's one way to get a signal. We'd just actually have the observer look at the dust, and that'll give us a signal. But as you can see, it blinks twice. You could overcome this by using a bell. Put the bell down here on the bottom. And now, it's really loud though. Every time you hit that guy, you're going to get a signal from your observer. So that's how we can get the information out of the target block. And now we're going to move on to how we can display the information. Oh, also, target blocks redirect redstone. You can see that here. The dust is redirected into the target blocks, allowing us to light the lamps up. And this is signal strength accurate. We've got a bullseye. Try to get the edge here so show. So that's pretty straightforward. Here's another display. Because the dust is on the lamps, they'll have both lamps lighting up even if we got a 1. This one's more accurate. This is a vertical display. Still not the best. It's kind of jagged. And that's what we're here for, is we're here for the displays. And what is the best display? And I think the best display would be an animated display that was flush. So, it's animated, it's vertical, and it's flush. So we have to come up with a few things to get there first. Let's get started. Coming on over here, we have the flush display and some working examples. We're not going to look at those just yet. Here's the flush display. This one will display a 0 to 15 signal strength, or a 1 to 15. The input's down here on this block, and then the signal strength just goes up the glass all the way to the top. The repeaters come in and they redirect it into these blocks. The yellow and the green are the odd and the even. So that's how that works. And then I think I got a target block back here. Yep, as you can see, that's a really good display. So we got our first problem solved, and it's really small. You know what I'm saying? It's only 2 by 4 by 16, I believe, is the dimensions on this. So we can fit that anywhere. The front of it is flush. We do have to note that these alternating blocks here are going to be redstone powered, but we can put blocks in between that and have our flush display, as you can see here. Actually, we'll just demonstrate this. That's the fully animated display. That's what we're looking for. But let's just continue and see how we got there. So we got some animation circuits here, and I got 3 different animation circuits here for signal strength animations, and they work off of subtraction. And what we have going on is we have a signal strength coming in. It could be from a target block, and we're going to be using the target block, but it could be any signal strength. So it comes in, it hits this target block, and it basically gets duplicated. It goes into this comparator, goes into this comparator via this dust that's redirected by the target block. Then it hits this subtraction value right here. It's held by a fader that decays to 0. So we would have the value coming in twice, and it would be the value minus itself, which would be 0. But as this decayed to 0, that would slowly count up, and we can demonstrate right here. The value is held for a moment in this memory cell, and then it gets also reset when this torch comes back on after this cell dies. We'll demonstrate again. Be better if I got a higher value. See, it counts up to the value and then it shuts off on the blue block. That's pretty cool. This one is animate up and off. Does what it says. This one animates to the value and then it stays on. See, the last value was 7. We'll give it a new value. There we have 13. You can see the same action happening with the subtraction fader. The memory cell's holding the value, but the subtraction fader does the animation via comparator subtraction. So that's all pretty cool. Then we have the final version. Oh wait, I didn't say what version this one was. This one's animate up and on, so it takes a value in, starting from 0, and then it animates to that value and it stays on and holds it. So if we hook that up to the display, we'd be able to see 13. All right, we got the final one is up and down. All right, so you hit this one, it goes up to the value and then back down to 0. Pretty neat. We got a couple different faders here. We got the subtraction fader, and then we got a fader built into the memory cell that kicks in when the memory cell resets, so it'll decay to 0 on itself. And that's how we do the final countdown. It's pretty cool. All right, so those are all amazing. So now we have our animation circuits. I guess now we have this thing, don't we? We have a target block platform. Not exactly. We didn't get there yet because if we just hook these circuits up, we can see that everything's not as it seems. It works pretty good. If you start spamming, that's when things get weird. And that's because the number of ticks coming off of the target block isn't exactly ideal for our situation. We would only want 2 ticks. We're going to continue with the examples. This one was up, then off. As you can see, that's how that circuit works. Animates up, then off. Very good. Then we have up, then on. Give it a new value. See, this would need more work too because the animation is not exactly ideal and it doesn't fully reset to 0 when we give it a new shot value. We'd have to account for that if we were to design a platform around that animation. And then here's the final circuit, up, then down. This one works pretty good. It still doesn't have the lockout features, so if we started spamming, it wouldn't be what we wanted. And it could also break the circuit if we gave it a 1-tick input. Another drawback to these circuits is the fact that they can't take a constant input and continually animate. That's weird. I've never actually seen that before. Yeah, this is expected. This is what we're supposed to see. As you can see, the signal's coming in, it's going here, it's going here, straight up to the memory cell, the pink box, and then the subtraction cell right here. Because this doesn't start decaying, that doesn't start animating. So if we just let a constant signal into this circuit, it doesn't work. All right. But as soon as we release the power, it'll do its thing. Same thing happens over here, but this is a 2-tick gate on here. So that one actually, that's kind of the start of the first safety features. Anyway, So you can't have constant power going into these three circuits, and you got to come up with some safety features. I've done that with an RS NOR latch and a two-tick input by gating the first two comparators here and making sure that we only get 2 ticks of information into our animation circuit. I also have a specialized reset on the memory cell that happens from a falling edge monostable. So that'll give us a stable, spam proof, very fast. It's a 5 tick response time from the display to the target block signal. Now, mind you, these are instant, but they don't animate. And you could have like this display over here, but I think the animation's just better for a lot of situations with the target block in mini games where you want to do different things. So that's what we have, the target block platform. Um, I think that's the video. I think we covered everything. I'm going to be including a world download in the description so you guys can download everything we have here and check it all out. It'll have the circuits, the target block platform, the display. It'll be in the world. It'll also have the structure files. If you guys don't know how to use the structure block, I'll kind of cover that real quick. If you just do the command give at p structure block, it'll give you a structure block, and then you can place that structure block in creative. This is in creative mode. And then when you come up to the structure block, just come down here real quick. You come to the load, you go import, and you select the files. So the files I include will be included in the description, like I said. And if you use the structure block, you can import those and load them in any creative world. Alternatively, you guys will be able to just download the McWorld file and open that and check everything out. But if you guys want to see how to do it with the structure block, that's how to do it with the structure block. I think that's all we got time for in this video. Thanks for checking it out. And yeah, this has been great. Like and subscribe.